multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of the MBN Network, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Track Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus. The MBN Network is a nonprofit organization based in Atlanta, Georgia. We are a streaming, radio, and ministry network funded by a network of partners that are professionals, technicians, entrepreneurs, and entertainers from around the world. Become a member of Patreon today at patreon.com/Larry Reid Live to gain access to all that the NBN Network has to offer. On Sundays, tune in for prayer, prophecy, and coaching call. Available for Patreon members only. Join in on the morning meditation and prayer call open to the public Monday through Friday. On Monday evenings, catch the digital entertainment news show, Larry Reid Live, as Dr. Reid discusses an array of topics with a raw, humorous, and controversial approach. Get informed and inspired on Tier 2 Tuesdays for Tier 2 Patreon members only. Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the virtual prophets, pastoral counselors, and coaches available for Tier 2 Patreon members only. Participate in Therapy Thursdays and Financial Fridays for all tiers inside of Patreon only. Saturdays, rest and be with your family. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today. Join with people from around the world, praying 15 minutes Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 667-770-1402, code 974-8029#.
We're about to have a conversation.
We're going through a lot of changes. I know you are too. When I say we, I'm talking about the collective. All of us. It doesn't matter what type of job you are doing, what type of work that you are in, what industry you are in, you're going through some changes. And I am too. I'm going through changes as a pastor, spiritual teacher, and personal prophet. I'm going through changes as a content creator. I'm going through changes as a father. I'm going through changes as a friend. I'm going through a lot of changes. And every last one of these changes are good because it's causing me to rethink, reposture, pivot, and look at myself in the mirror. What am I proud about and what I'm not proud about? What I'm not proud about is how I've allowed myself to be used, to be abused. I'm also not proud of myself by not always listening to good advice from people who love me. I'm not talking about people who say they love me, but people who absolutely, positively love me. And if I'm doing that, and I'm a pretty evolved person, pretty smart, 46 years old, have lived quite a bit, I'm pretty sure you're doing the same darn thing, or have done it. 2022 was my 44th birthday, changed my life, made me mature in a whole lot of different ways. And a lot of the things that I am dealing with right now is the result of aligning with that energy that entered in my life at that moment to bring a whole lot of changes and quick changes and readjustments. I'm pretty sure you're going through the exact same thing. I want to say this to you. Hold just for a minute. I'm almost ready. Hold on. I want to say this to you. What I want to say to you is go ahead and make that change, no matter and in spite of what it is and what it may cost, make that change. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Larry, I'm surprised to see Will McCray on your platform and y'all cutting up just having a good time. We ain't had this in a long time. We missed this Larry Live. But the quality of the people that's telling me that ain't my people. So I'm weighing that because my platform totally changed. I've been talking more spiritual empowerment and just other different types and kind of stuff. So I'll do that with William here and there because we like cutting up and having a good time, and you really getting to see how we talk on the phone. Everybody needs to laugh in their life. And so I'm not going to rob you guys of that. But at the same time, there are just some things that I want to do. There are a lot of things that I am attempting to create and make. And some stuff goes, some stuff don't go. And some people go, some people don't go. And people have been leaving my life for the last 2 years. And God, I thank you. Thank you for taking all them assholes. Anyway, and so, but anyway, so I just want to tell you guys that go ahead and go with the pivot. Go with the change. You can see a video I'm about to post on IG. Probably will post on all platforms that talked about me not talking about not John, that's his dad's name. Jamal Harrison Bryant. I'm not going to be talking about Jamal Harrison Bryant as far as that baby is concerned, but he's always viral for something, so I'm definitely going to be covering that whenever it comes out, if it creates a conversation. But I'm not going to be discussing that anymore because my purpose for discussing that is focused on the mom and the child. But I feel like I've been used as listed that for many years too. So I'm just pulling myself out of all of that. Y'all gonna handle that, take folk to court. We're gonna talk and have a good time about other stuff and be empowered and enlightened. Ain't got time for that. So go ahead on pivot and pivot with your new group and your new people and whoever you want to be fooling up with. I just felt like I should share that with you guys right here. I'm about to right now go into my closed community. If you are in Patreon tier 2, patreon.com/Larry Reid. Go to tier 2. You can meet me and my experts and prophets as we start going over some things and talking about some stuff. If you want to ask me questions concerning this, or you are trying to pivot in your business, that's the time you can ask me without getting in one of my coaching programs that start at $12,000. So if you can't afford that, $12. Well, actually, tier 2 is $24. Come into tier 2, ask me on Wednesdays, and I help you the best way I can. Thais, I see you. I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna get me in trouble because who I'm friends with, you may not be friends with, and I'm pretty sure we probably have dealings with people who are enemies. Let me say this: I like your content. I've been sneaking and watching. Well, people who watch I've been over there for about the last 3-4 weeks. You've made a pivot. I see how you covering stuff. I don't know what you're doing behind the scenes. So anybody just say, well, you don't know Thais. Well, I know what I see on his show. And I like how he's discussing things and moving. So I enjoy that. And you're terribly funny. You tickle me. So I see the pivot is on you. How can we change tiers? Just log into your tier 1 and upgrade. You just have to pay the difference right then. Then the next month it start charging you the 24. Yeah, so I just want to say that go ahead with the pivot. I know your numbers may come down because you notice my numbers back up now that I've been doing the funny with what's the name, and when I cover the Jake stuff and some other stuff, Carlton last year. But in between that, when I do my regular stuff and prophetic days, numbers low. I don't give up. I don't care about that. I don't care about the numbers. My focus is much bigger than that, and I really like my spiritual community. And I'm anointed for several things, but there ain't nothing like being with spiritual people and growing and knowing. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Talk to you later. I love it. And you said you've been emailing me since last year about coming up with a podcast. Dog, I'm so sorry. Try me one more time again. You know that it's packed all the darn time.
What y'all think about this little hat thing that I got, the scarf thing that I got on my head? Do y'all like that? I like it. Probably a few times a month, ever since. Actually, started when I first, right before I moved here in August of 2015. And started wrapping up my head probably like a year or two before that. And I've been shaving since 99. I've been shaving my head except for a couple of years, well, about a year, and I was dating this woman, and I started growing my hair out. But except for those years, I've been shaving my head every 2 or 3 days for years. And because sometimes I can't get it done in 2 or 3 days, I don't shave it. So when I don't shave it, I don't want my white head to show because my hair is white, of course, because I'm wise. um, because of that, I wrap it up. I like the little hat thing. Let me see what y'all saying. It's, of course, the women gonna say it's cute. Uh, Ain't nothing cute but babies and puppies. I like it. I love it. I like it. Okay, that's good. Y'all like it. Some stuff I do y'all don't like. I got a little side of me that's really into creating looks. That's why I switch glasses all the time. And if y'all notice, every once in a while, like I done that video the other day, I pull something out the back of my closet real. You're like, oh, okay, Larry, you go from black shirts, regular and joggers, and jump way over there to high-end fashion silhouettes. Yep, sure do. I like all of that and everything in between. And so I really get into that. And just last night, I solidified I'm going to get to dress my mentor for his birthday celebration, which I'm going to enjoy that. So I'm at the fly wherever he's at. You think it's fashionable? Thank you, Thais. I watched you a little bit last night too, Thais. I like it. And for everybody that's messy as hell, me and Conscious TV are still spiritual. I don't know what you call it. We still friends. How about that? We still bros. And I know Thais and Conscious don't really fool up with each other. But they don't have nothing to do with me. And so I can just like Will McRae and Conscious don't fool up with each other. But it ain't got a thing to do with me. Nobody talks to me about the other. So that it works out. And if you follow my platform for many years, you know how I used to be. I was like, if my friend got an enemy, then I'm not gonna be friends with my friend's enemy. And if I'm doing that, then I must be fake with somebody. I say that all the time. But I found out it's not true because of different types and kinds and levels of connection. See, I can have professional connections, even friendly professional connections with people who don't deal with each other. As long as I don't allow nobody to badmouth the other to me, I'm good. That's between y'all. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You agree with that, Thais? Yeah. I ain't always been like that. you know. But I do believe somebody said, "Have you tried Bishop Jordan glasses?" No, I haven't. But I already got all my glass. I got I don't have 30 something pair no more. I half of them I gave away just recently. If y'all notice, Kendall been rocking some of my old Casals, and he went and had it redone and his medicine put in them. Um, yeah. So I'm glad y'all like that little thing. I really like that. And I wear the other one sometimes. Larry, babies have baby faces, and you do. So you are cute. I ain't got no baby face. It's 46. You see them lines beside my nose? And then I done got a new dot right there at the bottom of the rim of my glasses. Because I sat there and pressed on something, pressed it too hard, and then now that whole area is dark. I shouldn't have did that, but I did. Yeah. But yeah, the pivot is on. And let me explain this pivot. And Thais, you probably can, you probably get what I'm saying. When you and God knows, getting up here and letting Jeremy loose, it's fun for me. It's fun for you, it's laughter. But you have certain lines that even in that I don't cross. I used to cross them and did not know I was crossing them. And let me make that very clear. I was crossing lines. What you mean crossing lines? Just going a little bit too far in a joke, going a little bit too hard. For instance, y'all remember me doing the E. Dewey Smith stuff. it was too much. I mean, I went hard on him and his church, all because of this one thing he done that I did not agree with. And I just went in and in. And then, of course, when I started going in and in and in, then everybody who had a problem with him reached out to me with, what seemed to be legit stories. And there was this one woman that claimed something that happened to her at the church. I told her she needed to file a police report. She didn't file it until she felt like they were threatening her. That's alleged. And but I have thankfully I recorded all our conversations where she was telling me all this stuff. And in the police report, she did put all of that stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna talk about this. But I even went hard with that because it was still connected to him. I had somebody in my ear, y'all. I told this story before. I had somebody in my ear, that was like pushing me. I saw the contract you signed to do positive commentary on him, but you didn't look. And that was a non-disclosure. They tricked you. So then on top of that, what I had a problem with him, I felt like I was duped. So then, of course, I just go hard and hard and hard and hard. That turned into a lawsuit. He won it, but there was a technicality by which he won. Basically, he won because my lawyer didn't do what she's supposed to do at the time, the one I had at the time. So then the appellate court overturned it. And so now it's like we ain't never been in the court before because I won the appeal. So but anyway, point is, doing that type of work, having the conversation, you have to do it and be careful because that energy of that work is a very heavy energy. Heavy energy. Now, if Thais is still in here or any other content creator, yes, I got sued. hmm And I lost because my lawyer didn't turn in the paperwork right. So then I had to go to appellate court and win the appeal. So I'm free to say whatever, but I have a relationship with Dewey now. Um, so I understand things I didn't understand before. So let's put it like that. Which is the same thing with John Gray. I have a relationship with him now. I understand things that Lord, I can't even start going down that list. Yeah. Okay, this is great. When you're in that zone, sometimes you don't even realize how far you cross the line until you play it back and someone tells you. Right. And but see, with my personality, somebody come tell me, I don't listen to what you got to say to me no way. So I have to really be in my spiritual bag and in a certain mood, for me to even hear you trying to tell me what you're trying to tell me. But see, that was 2018 and 19. And you guys, I know a lot of you that are still currently watching, you may have found me recent, but you would not have been able to find me. I wouldn't have showed up in your algorithms if I didn't in 2018 and 19 at the Whole Food. Of course, since 2020, there have been a couple of stories I covered, but not consistently, that blew up and went big because I put my foot in them. I feel pretty good about everything from 2020. I think I will hit it and move on, hit and move on. Now, somebody told me, they said, well, you went so hard on Jake's about Carlton. I think you made it more than what it was, and because he responded, it blew it up. But I only did, concerning the Carlton and Jake's thing, only did a few lives, maybe a handful, like 5 lives. And I did it pretty much within 2 or 3 weeks. But those stories, there was so many views and so many shares, and then they take my commentary and marry it to the conversation that was going on then when P. Diddy came up, which brought him back into my mouth the next month. Oh, so if you count all of that, it do seem like it was like 60 days. But yeah, while I was saying, what I'm trying to say, I don't know why I'm rambling a little bit. What I'm trying to say is you guys watch me pivot and change my platform, and I'm comfortable with what my platform is now. But I don't want you guys, and this is the reason why I was telling one of the reasons I tell William I can't commit to doing that show every week. Because every time we do it, it's so wild. Because William is so unhinged that those clips they go so far, and then other people talk about it, and what it ends up doing is undoing the work that took me 3 years to do to get people to understand what I do and what I do not do. So I made sure last night I set up his YouTube because I wanted to help build his YouTube and really get him over into how things work now. So we can go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And give the people William, and the people who like it, they're gonna definitely follow it. But I can't host something like that on my. First of all, I don't have the time. Let's leave it at that. I don't have time to do that. All of what that takes to do. Although I know you guys love it. It's fun. The boy is crazy. Come on now. You cannot like William and not like what he say. But that boy funny. Funny. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Let's see. So William goes too far. Yeah, by my definition, I would never say anything. We don't have this conversation before. I wouldn't say anything about the whole dark skin thing. But he's been honest. When we talk off camera, he told me why he feels that way. And it's the way he was raised. Just the same way as some white people are raised racist. He was raised to favor light-skinned people and raised to favor his friends or what would be children now who had moms and dad who were not bastards. So he goes hard on that. And the woman that sleeps with a married man, she's a whore and nothing more. That he believes those things. At least he's honest about it. I don't have to agree with it, and I can still sit with him and have a good time. Right, Thais. Maybe once a month is doable, maybe. But them 2 shows that we done, people are cutting up those clips and talking about it so much. I don't want it to become to where my Larry Live is associated with that. And by that, I'm not talking about William. I'm talking about just that type of flow all the time. Because I undone that. People know when they hear, if I'm going to talk about a story, they know how it's going to be talked about and how it's going to be presented. And you probably going to get 1, maybe 2 conversations out of it and it's gone. Yep. Which is how it is. Right, he is funny. Someone say he a little rude. Okay, I hear that. I love me a light-skinned, thickly shaped woman. So I get it. That's a preference. But they don't make you a colorist. That's just a preference. I like them chocolate, that's just a preference. So the dark skin thing didn't bother me because my come on, let's tell the real truth. And see, that's the truth that William was saying off camera. I'm not going to say because I want the family to think I'm being shady, but we know our big mamas favored the light-skinned ones over the dark-skinned ones because it's the way they was raised. Now look at her experience. He was honest. I've seen dark-skinned people treat light-skinned people hard. He told me that. That's how he was treated. So I understand it. I don't have to agree with his viewpoint or the way that he said it. That's how come I can sit with William, laugh, and cut up. He does not press his point of view and his femininity that we discussed on the last thing. He don't push it on me because I can't deal with that. And we'll know If we go that way, I'm hanging up this phone and give me a minute. Somebody say he has to stay on topic. Yeah, if he on my show, I can help that. But his platform, and y'all need to go to it right now. Hold on, let me put it in this thing so y'all can go ahead and sign up. Let me see. Let me see if I can find. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna put the link here so y'all can follow his page and help him get to 1,000 subscribers. Um, Here, I'm gonna put the link in here right now. I shared it yesterday, but ain't enough people signed up. Here, I'm putting it right here. Let me know if you can click on it and follow them. I almost got him. Almost got him. He said Patreon exclusive is also on. So what's your mean, Thais? He said once and twice a month with Sapphire. Okay. So William is funny, but you have to have thick skin. Yeah, cause he a little shrewd and rude with it. Yeah. I am chocolate, and I was treated horrible as a child into adulthood. It makes me sad to hear him say such things. Yeah. Carmen Evans, I ain't seen your name in the chat in a long time. I was treated terribly by my own grandmother, but I did the work to get over it. See, we know about this. So, I mean, that's why a lot of times it's good to have certain conversations so you can understand where a person's lens is. And y'all know how Shamako is. He is if you don't like something, he confronts it. And so soon it was over, he was right with William. Well, what you mean by this and why this and I don't like this and I ain't like that. And that's when we begin to find out where you said the link works good, where he got that from. So can all of you guys do me a favor, even if you say, well, I ain't gonna watch them all the time. Except for you and when oh, you right. Now you know what? I should know this. I mean, I was the king of this, but I didn't even think about it because man, my Patreon. There's so many people over there that's over there for the praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. So yeah, I might would consider that because then that way people try to take clips and put it out here. Then I can move a certain kind of way to get that down. Vonda said I didn't like his commentary at all. I understand you just say Ella. I get it. I had cousins that refused to play with me when I was little because this is a real thing. A real thing. I said I can't watch, just can't stomach it. So that way, if I can put it in somewhere where I get what y'all saying. I understand. But do you think people can overcome colorism? Of course. No, dude, just take some work. He hurts the level of production we are used to by you. What you mean hurt it? Because he hasn't affected the production over here. I want him to. I'm gonna tell him what to do. I can't do it for him, and I don't have nobody that can work with him. But I definitely get him into StreamYard because he has a good following on Facebook, and then he's gonna try his hand at YouTube at the same time. I think that'll work for him, and just be consistent at it. He'll be all right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, so pivot. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. And we've been screaming it since 2020, but I don't know what it is that is in us that causes us to struggle with change. I know a lot of times it's fear based because it's like a stab in the dark, stepping off of what you know which provides some type of security, familiarity. There's a lot of security in it. And then going into something you do not know, have not experienced, that that is tough. I understand, and I do understand when you're starting something new. I mean, it's not going to be banging, banging, banging like the thing you're stepping away from that you done built. And I built Larry Reid Live on funny and information, and some of my funny went very far, and and I don't go that far no more. So I know that's going to result in certain kind of engagement, and I don't care about it. And I've been experiencing that since I switched the whole lot. And I'll be lying if I say it didn't feel good to see the numbers go through the roof, like when I went live to discuss that TD Jake stuff in November, um, and the TD Jake stuff at what was it, in December with Carlton Pearson, and then there was something else I did in between there that was big. Oh, the Kim Burrell coverage, and then something else happened. And then some other stuff happened I didn't even cover because I just didn't want to be in the energy of it. Like that whole white hair stuff, I didn't want to touch none of that. When he got locked up, I mean, sentenced. I mean, not sentenced, but convicted. I don't want to be in none of that. Not at all. Yeah, it was fun. Did Bishop T.D. Jake step down as pastor? Okay, a lot of you guys have been asking me this. Let me just tell you this, and I'm being 100% transparent. Um, there's been a breach in the leaks in that camp for me that I know I can trust. Um, Let me say it like that: a breach in the leaks I know I can trust. But even with that being said, I know that this is not true. This is a Gemini. Geminis, they're most comfortable leading. And toxic Geminis, they are power hungry, and it's all about control. It's all about controlling the every aspect, to get what they want. He is not going to do that under any circumstances, even if it appear that he. I mean, it. No, that's not happening. That is not happening. The only way I can see that happen if there was some legal reason he needed to, and probably then it would just be on paper and legal, but he would still be showing his face because it's TD Jakes. The politics is TD Jakes. So I said, I think the duo could work. Be patient with it. You are Master Larry. Yeah, it could, but what I'm saying is that does not fit with the big picture of what I'm doing. That's not gonna be able to work. And I don't have time. It's just not gonna work. I better do it here and there. I commit to that. What's gonna help him build? I mean, he's the father of this whole talking thing when it comes to the church. I gotta feel it. Somebody else asked me that. I've done bits and pieces that was relevant, but I haven't played the whole thing. Um, hit the like and share button, y'all. I forgot I didn't answer that. Me either, but I would, but with wall to wall coverage of his senses in July. Ow! Oh yeah. Mm-mm. There you go. That's in a Gemini fashion. That's right. Has the black church changed forever? No struggles producing no anointing. The black church has been changed so long ago. I think it's just getting more evident because we're getting to see more of what's going on. The black church left its. I'm gonna say this: the black church has left a considerable amount of its spirituality for conformity. Every religion has some measure of spirituality in it, but hold on, I'm live. I'll call you back. All right. Every religion has some form of spirituality in it, but it's just control. It's boxed. Black church maintain a lot of the more of the spirituality than the macro. And I don't know what happened. I don't know. We lost it. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but we started moving away. Of course, they're moving away from prayer, which is very important as relates to transcendence. And another thing that's very important as relates to transcendence is the dance. And those two aspects has changed so much in the church. I'm 46. I'm raised in the church. I saw it shift. The people, the way their body moves years ago, and the phrase expression had such a conjure in it. But then something happened. I don't know if that next generation, if they started copying each other, and pretty much everybody dance was like one of these three or four different types. But it's not that the old church, you got everybody's dance was unique to their expression and their connection and their experience. It was very personal, being saved and walking with God, having a spirit, very personal. So when you would come to church and all of those energetic experiences and expressions and personal relationships would compound in one space, especially if the space wasn't huge but was small. Ooh, and all of that vibration will fill up that room. And from the first hallelujah to the last, electric, that's gone. Gone. We don't have it anymore. We don't have it. Now it's cookie cutter. The worship is pretty much the same. The dance is pretty much the same. Everybody's preaching pretty much the same. It's really like motivational speaking with a whole lot of different meme quotes and viral moments. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I mean, there are a few out there that's pretty good, but even them, they're pretty good considering what we get. Them same ones that we say good now, pretty good now. If we rewind them and put them in the church 20 years ago, we'd be saying, "Oh, they ain't that good." Right, Tamika Smith. So much theoretical content and motivational speaking. Yeah. And see, this is part of the pivot that we're discussing that content creators and business owners are all experiencing. In order for the black church to evolve and last and not evaporate right before our eyes, they have to make some adjustments. Because what they're doing in these churches, there's so many other things that people can do whenever they choose to get the same experience. They have lower before there was nothing or nobody to compete with the experience that you have at church, but now there is. Because the experience you have at church is not even that deep. So much theory. I mean, theatrical. What the word did I say? Content and motivational speaking. I watch Juanita Bynum on Sundays, not the new Juanita, the old one when she wore the long black skirt. Yes, yeah, there's a difference. There is a difference. We used to be scared to forsake the assembly. Um, well, I feel a little bit different about that. The Cobain report, is that Bishop what's the name, son? I think I just interviewed with you. I know I did. This is an interesting conversation. You must have been raised around the old prophets. Because if you take prophetess Juanita Bynum and you put her with the prophets, what is this? I'm 20, I'm 46. About 30 years ago, they will say that she's a prophetic evangelist. I don't even really see Juanita prophesy that much. Usually, the word that she's preaching is prophetic, but I don't even see her prophesying that much. I don't understand these prophets. I'm not saying this about Juanita, but I don't understand these prophets that don't prophesy. I'm like, you prophet what? But you don't prophesy. You just preach a prophetic word. No, hand me that title. You ain't got no business being nobody's prophet. Where are the mother stacks of this generation? They're here, but they're not gonna move like mother stacks did. But they're doing the same work. I'm doing the work. Cause mother stacks, what she did, she was really like and now y'all not gonna like what I'm gonna say. She was really like a mother, a church mother, who was used by the spirit world. Listen to me very carefully. This is my opinion concerning Mother Stacks. Mother Stacks and that whole board now, including the woman with the bouncy hair, Bennett now. But Mother Stacks is like a church mother who, without a proper education and teaching and coaching, was used by the spirit world and in the spirit world to do good. And the way that she was used by the spirit world, she really was like a conjurer mixed with a healer or a Reiki specialist, because she would hit you in your chakras. Go find any videotape. She would take her hand like for lack of better words, a spirit world conductor. And she will place her hands in your chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plex chakra. And that's what she would do the whole time, sometimes your heart chakra. And then she would, a lot of times, she would put her hands on your throat chakra, and then your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. That's the only thing she did. But she did not know that's what she was doing. And she will correct that energetic space, because that's really the points along your spine. And she will correct it. That's it. I mean, she's a great spiritual worker. Right. So there are other people who are doing that work with the conversation. There are other people who are doing that very same work without being at church on all the time, the handkerchief around you, pouring oil all on you, wrapping a scarf around you, and you knocking out on the floor, but doing the same work. We I see some people that are following that same trend that she did. And then nothing wrong with that. And when I'm in the congregation with the saints, sometimes I move that same way. But we do not need um, more of that. Um, we need people to do whatever they've been anointed to do to cause change in people's life. Well, no matter what it look like. Yeah, I'm doing the work, Greg, that the way I'm supposed to do it. I enjoyed y'all's show. It was almost like they gave me a Breakfast Club feel, but with with a little more. And the topics y'all discussed, I really like that. I really like that. Yes, they're right. Because she would say, "Don't be playing that keyboard. I don't like that mystical stuff. I ain't mystical." I'm like, "Yes, you are." That's why I said lack of education. But the same thing with Bishop Mason that started the Culture Church. He would say, I'm not a root worker. I'm not practicing hoodoo while doing hoodoo." Yeah, there's a lack of education. A lot of people say, first of all, you're in the black church, you practice hoodoo. Go ahead and embrace it. It's the truth. You just ain't knowed it. And let me tell you what hoodoo is. And I think because the white folk have tricked y'all so much about voodoo being horrible and terrible and mean spirited, they try to take the same thing about Islam too and Muslim. And y'all just accept the programming without doing your own study. Well, no, ain't none of that stuff evil. People are evil, and then they blame it on their religion, their faith, the devil, God, or something like that. But religion in its pure form is going to be love and empowerment based. You know, that's what Christianity is supposed to be, but it ain't. So it's going to be the same way for someone who practices hoodoo, voodoo, voodoo, or Santa Maria, any of those other things. They're going to take it to a place that mirrors their soul. You can't throw away the whole practice because of one dum dum. But hoodoo is holy, and hoodoo is the answer for the Black American African Christian. Because hoodoo is nothing but bits and pieces of African spirituality that made it from the continent to this one, that was passed down generation after generation amongst Black people of faith. And if we're gonna get back to our power, we got to get back to Africa. Yep. Yeah, but see, he wouldn't he would have said he's not doing that. But how can you do that when your grandmother is like a next to a hoodoo priestess? People will come from around to get healed by her and her potion. You know, lack of education. Like I said with Bishop Mother Stacks, she said, "I'm not mystical. Quit playing. Yes, you are mystical. You playing in everybody's chakras, hitting them, and then tying stuff around their throat chakra and hitting them in their chakra shots, chakra, shots, chakra. You see, but she didn't have no education and no better. Oh Lord, I am a spiritual worker and a healer, doing conjuring. She ain't know it, but that's what she was doing. Find any video. She hitting you in the chakras, solar plex, heart, sacral. And sometimes she would turn you around and go straight to the chakra because they're along the spine. Oh, yes, she did. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Yes, absolutely. You must be new. Hmm. Right, but she was playing in the chakras. Look at this. I'm gonna show you this. Uh, right here. This is what she was doing. Find any video. She would tap that her focus was in the solar plexus and the heart chakra and the throat chakra. Mother board more so the throat chakra, tying the handkerchief around your throat. Then of course everybody, the third eye and crown chakra, every preacher gonna put that greasy cross in your forehead. But they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the science behind this moving with the spirit. And that's okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the video about the pivot and explain, which is sort of explains where my head and my heart is right now in all of my work. And I know you're going through the same thing. So embrace the change, embrace the alteration. That alteration is divine, it's a divine alteration. And the alteration is going to bring you prosperity and everybody connected to you. Couple, that's my baby mama, y'all. Coupled with them being connected to who they were in their life, I believe if she would have hit me, I wouldn't have felt it like they did. Well, I really think Stacks authentically will have that connect. I believe it. You would have felt it because you're spiritual, your darn self. Of course, I do believe when you are like a someone spiritual child, you're so open to whatever comes from them. And then, of course, when people are enamored with other people. So I'm pretty sure that played into these people falling out and all of that kind of going on. But I can tell authentically she was a conductor for the spirit world. Absolutely. And I've never been in the same room with her at all. I'm very clear. She was a spiritual conductor. She was a worker for the spirit world. Absolutely. Let me see. Who's that? See, a lot of people don't know about this, but I've experienced this. I had a shapeshifter come to my home in 1999. 98 maybe. Um, and they came in the form of a very hairy beast. I still don't know what to call that. They came in the form of a very hairy beast that I ultimately killed. And I know this is probably sounding crazy, and this really should be a Patreon conversation because somebody gonna grab this and really have a good time. Because I'm several different things to several different people. They make up stuff. But the spirit gave me some words to utter, which part of it was in tongues, and a movement that I was supposed to do with my hand over and over. And I did it and stayed committed to it over and over and over for a few minutes, which ultimately um, caused it to burst. And so I know that if you accept that they're able to retreat, that is the end of their life. And so you got this spiritual work. And so you would think you won't understand what I'm saying unless the spirit give it to you or you just have the experience. Yeah. All right. Enough of that. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I got to do exorcism and house cleansings. So yeah, I got a lot of those stories. All right. Well, y'all take care, and I see you later. Bye.